Hello and welcome to our channel. Are you learning English? Great! Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Let's get started.
It was a quiet afternoon in London. The sun was soft and the wind was cool. Amelia sat by the window of her small bookstore, sipping her favorite tea chamomile with honey. The sound of pages turning and a soft jazz tune playing in the background made her smile. She loved this peaceful life. Amelia was 26 years old. She had short brown hair, big blue eyes, and a heart full of dreams. She had moved to the city 3 years ago, leaving behind her small village and her past. One thing Amelia never expected was love. Not after what happened with Daniel. But life, as always, had other plans. That day, just before closing time, the bell above the door rang. A man walked in tall, with messy black hair and a leather jacket. He looked around, slightly confused. "Hi," he said. "Do you have any books on Italian cooking?" Amelia stood up. "Italian cooking? Yes, we do. Follow me." He smiled. "Thanks. I'm kind of a terrible cook. I need help." She laughed. "You're not alone. Most people who come here say the same thing." He followed her to the cooking section. As she searched the shelf, she asked, "Are you learning to cook for someone special?" The man laughed. "Not yet, but maybe one day." Amelia handed him a book titled Simple Italian for Beginners. "Start with this," she said. "It's easy and fun." He looked at the book and then at her. "Thank you. I'm Oliver, by the way." "Amelia. Nice to meet you, Amelia." From that moment, something changed. Oliver became a regular customer. Every Friday at 4 p.m., he came to the shop. Sometimes for books, sometimes just to talk. He brought coffee for her, and she started waiting for him without even realizing it. They talked about everything: books, food, music, childhood memories. She found out he was a travel photographer who had just returned from Italy. He lived alone in an apartment not far from the shop. Amelia was surprised by how easy it was to talk to him. With Oliver, she didn't feel like she needed to hide her past or her pain. One rainy evening, as thunder rolled across the sky, they sat near the fireplace inside the store. Oliver looked at her with serious eyes. "Can I ask you something?" He said. "Of course. Why do you always seem a little sad even when you smile?" Amelia looked away. "Because life hasn't always been kind to me." He didn't say anything. Instead, he gently took her hand. "I don't know what hurt you," he said softly, "but I want you to know you don't have to go through it alone." Her heart beat faster. No one had ever said something like that to her before. Weeks passed, and their bond grew deeper. One cold December morning, the first snow fell. Oliver came to the shop with a strange smile on his face. He looked nervous. "I have something for you," he said. Amelia raised an eyebrow. "What is it?" He handed her a small envelope. Inside was a photo of her bookstore with a note written on the back. "This is where I found something unexpected. You." Her hands trembled. Oliver, he looked into her eyes. "Amelia, I know it's fast, and maybe crazy, but I don't want to wait anymore." He dropped to one knee. Will you come with me to Italy?" he asked, smiling nervously. "Not forever, just for a week. I want to show you the places I love, the places that made me feel alive." Amelia froze. For a moment, her mind went completely blank. She had expected a proposal, but not like this. Not a ring, not a promise of forever, but an invitation to adventure. "To Italy," she repeated, her voice barely above a whisper. Oliver nodded. "Yes, just you and me. Sunsets over Florence, pasta in Rome, morning coffee in Venice. I want to take you there. Maybe, somewhere along the way you'll start to believe in love again." Amelia looked at him, stunned. No one had ever invited her to live before, only to survive. She didn't answer right away. She began. "I don't know. It sounds like a dream, but dreams don't usually come true for me." He stood up, gently placing the box on the counter. "It wasn't a ring, just a key. To my heart," he said with a grin, "or to my hotel room in Venice. Either way, you can decide." Amelia laughed, despite the storm of thoughts inside her head. "You're unbelievable." "I try." That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Italy, about Oliver, about the way he looked at her like she was the most important person in the room. And she remembered Daniel. Daniel, who promised her everything and then left without a goodbye. That heartbreak had kept her locked inside herself for years. But now someone new was knocking on the door. The next morning, Amelia called her best friend Lily. "He invited me to Italy," she said. Lily almost screamed through the phone. "What? That's amazing. Say yes." "But I barely know him." "You've known him for 3 months. You talk every day. You smile when you say his name. That's not barely knowing someone. That's something real." "But what if I get hurt again?" Lily was quiet for a moment. "What if you don't?" she said softly. That day, when Oliver came into the store, he didn't bring coffee. He looked worried. "I'm sorry if I was too forward," he said. I really want to share this part of my life with you." Amelia took a deep breath. "I'll come with you," she said. Oliver's eyes lit up. "Really?" She nodded, but only on one condition. "Anything. You teach me how to take pictures like you." He grinned. "Deal." A week later, they were on a plane, flying over the Alps. Amelia looked out the window, her heart full of excitement and fear. What if this was a mistake? But when she looked at Oliver, reading a travel guide and holding her hand gently, she thought maybe, just maybe, it wasn't. Their first stop was Florence. The city was alive with color and history. Oliver took her to a small cafe, hidden behind an old church. They drank espresso and laughed like they had known each other forever. At sunset, they stood on a hill overlooking the city. The sky turned pink and gold. "This," Oliver whispered, "is where I took one of my favorite photos." "Show me," she said. He held up his camera and clicked. Then he showed her the screen. It was her, smiling at the sunset. "I think I just took a new favorite." Amelia blushed. "You're too smooth." "I'm just honest." They walked back to the hotel under the stars. Oliver's hand brushed against hers, and this time, she didn't pull away. The next few days passed like a beautiful dream. In Rome, they visited the Colosseum, threw coins into the Trevi fountain, and shared gelato by the Spanish Steps. Amelia couldn't stop smiling. Every corner they turned, every new street they discovered, it all felt magical. But more magical than the places was Oliver himself. He never rushed her. He never pushed too hard. He simply stayed by her side, letting her open up slowly, like a flower in the sun. One night, after a long walk through the streets of Trastevere, they sat on a bench near a quiet fountain. The city lights shimmered in the water. "I used to think love was supposed to be loud," Amelia said suddenly. Oliver looked at her. "Loud, yes, full of drama, passion, fireworks, but with you it's quiet. It's calm, it's safe." He took her hand gently. "That's what real love feels like, I think. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's just being there, sharing silence, holding hands, and knowing you're not alone." She smiled, her heart full. "I like the quiet." "So do I," he said, "especially with you." The next morning, they boarded a train to Venice. The city of water was unlike anything Amelia had seen. Gondolas floated through narrow canals, and the sound of soft Italian songs filled the air. They explored tiny bridges and colorful alleys, stopping every few minutes to take photos or try something delicious. One evening, as the sun set over the Grand Canal, Oliver arranged a surprise gondola ride. As they floated through the calm waters, the golden sky reflecting on the ripples, Amelia leaned back and sighed. "I could stay here forever." Oliver smiled. "Then maybe we should." She laughed. "You're not serious." He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he reached into his bag and pulled out a small leather journal. It looked old and well-used. "I write things down sometimes," he said, handing it to her. "Poems, thoughts, memories." Amelia opened the journal slowly, flipping through pages filled with neat, slanted handwriting. Her eyes widened when she saw a page titled "The Day I Met Her." Her heart skipped a beat. She read a few lines. She didn't wear makeup, but her smile lit up the room. She didn't speak much, but her eyes told stories. "I didn't believe in fate, but now I wonder." She looked up at him, eyes full of surprise. "You wrote this about me." He nodded. "From the very first day." Her voice was soft. "Oliver, I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," he said. "Just know that you've changed something in me. And whatever this is between us, I don't want it to end." Amelia felt her walls breaking. Slowly, gently, that night, back in the hotel room, she stood by the window, watching the moonlight dance on the water. Oliver walked up behind her and wrapped his arms around her. "I have one more surprise," he whispered. She turned to him. "Another one." He pulled something from his pocket, a small velvet pouch. Her breath caught, but it wasn't a ring. It was a tiny silver charm shaped like a book, with a heart engraved on the cover. "For your bracelet," he said, "the one you always wear." She took it carefully, tears filling her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered, "for everything." "I'm just getting started," he said. Days passed quickly in Venice, and the time came to return home. At the airport, Amelia stood by the window, watching the planes come and go. She felt a strange mix of emotions: peace, fear, hope. Oliver came beside her, holding 2 cups of coffee. "One last Italian coffee before we go." She smiled and took it. "Thank you for everything." He looked at her gently. "Amelia, I didn't bring you here just for a trip. I brought you because I wanted you to see what life could feel like when shared with someone who truly cares." She looked down, her heart racing. "I've been afraid," she said. "Afraid to love again. Afraid to be left behind." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small box this time, a ring inside. Then let me make it simple, he said softly. No promises of forever. Just one question, will you take the next step with me? Tears filled her eyes. Yes, she whispered. I will. He smiled and slipped the ring on her finger. No crowd, no drama, just quiet love under the soft light of the airport morning. As the plane took off, Amelia looked out the window, holding his hand. She no longer feared the future, because this time, love came not with thunder, but with peace.